Hey guys, welcome back to RC Crawler Workbench. So what we got here is the RC 4-wheel drive D90 Defender, the Grande 2. Has the beautiful Yoda 2 axles on it. I got the RC 4-wheel drive Ultimate Scale shocks that I've had for a while. I've had them on a couple rigs, but got them on here now. I'm going to try putting the stronger springs, pardon me while I reach over you. Got the stronger, the stiffer springs from RC 4-wheel drive, so we're gonna install those. That's one thing I'm gonna do. And apparently, when I put this rig together, I got a little sidetracked a time or two, I guess, and forgot to put Loctite on a couple things because I've had a couple failures, and it was due to the screw coming out of place. So I thought I Loctited everything, but you know how it is, sometimes you Loctite something and then a couple hours later you realize you need to take that part off. You take it off, and then when you stick it back on there, you may forget to Loctite it, and that's, you know, you kind of defeated the purpose. Once you break that seal, you need to redo it. So anyways, that's what happened, I think. So this last run that I did Sunday, I lost a screw out of the axle mount, or the shock mount down here on the axle, and so there goes the front suspension all to hell. So anyhow, I carried it back to the truck. The weekend before, I lost the screw out of the top and bottom C-hub, and my whole daggone hub came off and was sideways. The pin almost came out of the axle shaft itself. And so, yeah, I'm lucky I saved everything and got it all back together, and those things are Loctite this time, believe that. Other than that, the only other con to this vehicle, I would call it a con, and it's kind of a subjective con, but it's a con to me. So the weight of this body is just insane. I mean, the center of gravity on this vehicle at basically stock rod height is not bad, but that big body, you throw that thing on here, and it's definitely a different vehicle. I cannot drive it the same as I drive my SCX-10. The weight difference is just, it's there, man, and you notice it for sure. Something else I want to touch on. You guys see me holding the y'all recognize this? Okay, what I did was I cut the toes out of it like this to where I had, you know, more than enough, and took my motor, unscrewed it. I didn't have to take the wires off the back. You can if you want. You can make holes for them too, but this is pretty much just as effective if you ask me. So what I did, I popped the screws off, pulled the motor back, and I slipped the pantyhose over the motor from, so the toe part is out front here where the pinion is, and the little cut that I made before I put it on there, I pulled the pinion through, pulled everything nice and snug to the back, and twisted and twisted and twisted till I had probably a good 4 or 5 inches of pantyhose twisted up, and then I tied it in a knot tight down here by the motor wires there. So you see, you know, basically what you're getting. And there's different style pantyhoses, like, you know, there's thicker, thinner, different colors. There's black, and there's brown, and beige, and everything. So you just find you something you like. I didn't want to get nothing too thick because I didn't want to, you know, build up any heat in my motor, which I don't think is a problem with this rig, period. I'm not, that motor stays at ambient temperature. All my electronics seem to stay at ambient temperature. But I am going to step it up a notch. I want more horsepower. We always want more horsepower, right, guys? So what I've done was, kind of came as a surprise, but my buddy Harold, he came and hollered at me and said, "Hey Nate, I'm getting ready to get deployed. I got all these lipos. I don't really want to leave them unattended at home, so would you take care of them for me?" So we got some 4S. I got 2 4S packs, one 5,000 milliamp hours and one 4,000 milliamp hours. They're actually, the 5000 is on charge right now, but here's one 4S. It'll be on one side of the SCX10, and the other 4S is on charge, like I said. He also gave me two 4000 milliamp 2S. So if for some reason I would want to, run the Bronco on 2S one day, or run the Defender on 2S maybe, once I get the gear reduction and everything situated with the Glande how I want it, I might find that 2S is more appropriate for it. But I like the voltage up and gear down. That's something that I firmly believe in. You gear your motor down, with the higher turn motors, 55, 65, 80 turn, whatever you want. And in order to get the wheel speed you want, you add power. Okay, you add voltage, and you're going to get more speed out of that motor. That's how DC power works with these things. The more voltage you feed this motor, the higher the RPMs. So once you get to that point, you're thinking, okay, well, I'm running 2S now, so I definitely want at least twice this wheel speed that I'm not getting. So you can go to 3S. You'll get the wheel speed. You'll have torque. It's good for a trail rig. Maybe not necessarily a rock crawler, but a trail rig. It's good to have that wheel speed to get up some obstacles. If you're running a lot of dirt, a lot of sandy trails with roots going out of it and stuff like I do, it's good. It's why I'm kind of at a toss-up between, should I gear reduction, should I reduce the gearing in this thing, or should I not? Because I don't have a lot of rocks. I got the rock pile out here in the backyard, and then I got some basically large gravel anywhere else I go. The parking lots we park in, sometimes there's some larger gravel, but there's not really a good, nice rocky area to go per se. So not close to me anyhow. It's a couple hours away. All right, so is there anything else I want to talk about? I think that's about it, guys. For me, the Bronco's done great. It hasn't broke anything, hasn't let me down, hasn't hasn't nothing, hasn't given me any issues whatsoever. So I'm very happy with that setup. For you guys that haven't seen it before, what I got going on here is the transfer case from GCM Racing, and it's their mounts kit. I bought it as a kit. So you get the motor mount moved forward, transmission and motor will be up here. Transfer case from GCM will be right there where your transmission used to be. Look at all that room for an interior. I can put a full interior in here. I have the half interior right now just to keep the weight down, really, honestly. I mean, I got the Defender for the ultimate scale full interior bit, so I can just leave this one good enough. So, but yeah, the GCM kit, it's the SCX10 mounts kit. You get the motor transfer, or motor mount, and transmission mount, transfer case, and the chassis mount and servo. That's that's all you need, man. You got that. What you will have to do, don't forget, if you do order this kit ever, don't forget, you're going to need another drive shaft, because you have the drive shaft going from your transmission to the transfer case, and then one going from there down to both axles. So don't forget to get you some extra, get you an extra axle or something. Right now I have the wild bore drive shafts on there, going from the tranny to the transfer case. And if y'all remember, I can't remember if I did it on video or I just talked about it in a video. I took a metal link just like that one of Axial's, one of their stock links, and I cut it down to size to fit inside of the male side, the side with the grooves on it there. Alright, you want to fill that tube up with the metal, just tap it till it goes all the way down in there. You want it cut off, you can either cut it before or shave it off after. Either way, it strengthens that up. So that's a thought. If it's something you ain't done, you can check around. I've seen other people have done it. This is nothing new. So yeah, that's something you can do. Running gear on this truck's 20-tooth. It's pretty sure that's a Robinson Racing 20-tooth spur gear, or pinion gear. I can't speak tonight, guys. Sorry. And 89-tooth spur, stock spur. I want to have a weak link You know, if something's going to break, I'd rather it to spin the spur. I can replace that cheaply enough. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Once I get everything, all the screws that are going to vibrate out because I forgot to Loctite it, once I get that all done on this, I think it's going to be a good rig. These tires, they do good, man. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. With a lot of horsepower, you can really make these things dig. The weight of this truck helps these tires tremendously. Now, I haven't been in a mud hole buried up to the axles with this setup before. I have took these through mud on other trucks, on other of our trucks. My son's truck, took it on one of my other SCX10s. They don't do too bad, but you know, if you're driving scale, you know, they do really good. If you're kind of bashing, you know, deep mud, you know, is deep mud. So if you bury a real truck up to the axles where your belly's dragging on it, you're probably stuck. Well, the same goes here. But they do good, man. The weight really helps them. I like them. I don't think I'm going to change tires. I was going to get the RC four-wheel drive Russian USSR military tires. I've had a set before. I liked them. They looked really good. They were on one of the very first trucks and one of the very first videos I have here on my YouTube channel. Back in the the very first video, I think was it was a Trail Finder chassis. It was a Proline F250 hard body painted desert tan or desert sand or whatever like this, and it was the Trail Finder chassis that I custom built using Trail Finder and Trail Stomper parts. I kind of combined the Trail Stomper and the Trail Finder to make that truck, and then I ended up putting that body on the STX10 chassis, and I ended up selling the Trail Finder, Trail Stomper. That thing ended up getting all kinds of different modifications. I was going 4-link in the front and leaf spring in the rear when I ended up selling it to my buddy Chap, who also has a channel. So you guys go check him out. I'll put a link in the description below. And anyways, alright guys, so enough of your time. You seeing what I'm doing here? I like seeing what y'all are doing out there. I'll see y'all out on the trail.